Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुएव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्तवृंद, समस्त वैष्णववृंद की जय। नामचार्य दास ठाकुर जी की जय। श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। Good morning, dear devotees. I welcome you all to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call for this mid-morning session. This is Shivani from Ashton, Virginia. Please forgive me for stopping your ecstatic chanting. Let us move to the next part of the session. Today's class is on the sacred vow of Margasish, session 10, which will be given by His Grace Haridas Varya Prabhuji. May I know who all have joined this morning?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Glory to Srila Prabhupada. This is Neetu from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna Neetu Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Gauranga ki jai. Thank you so much for joining and giving a beautiful association, Mataji. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Jai Srila Prabhupada. This is Preeti Vilasnidhi Vidasi from Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you, Mataji, for your warm welcoming, and thank you, Jyoti Mataji, for that very beautiful recitation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Vilasini Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Gauranga ki jai. Thank you so much for joining and giving a beautiful association. All gurus to your services. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, so glories to Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharajas and all the assembled Vaishnavas. This is Kirtidas Sundari Dasi.
Hare Krishna, Kirti Sundari Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Gauranga ki jai. Thank you so much for joining and giving a beautiful association. All gurus to your services, Mataji. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Shivani Mataji, Dandavat Pranam to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada Srila Gurudev ki jai. Linda.
Hare Krishna Vrinda Gopika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Gauranga ki jai. Thank you so much for joining and giving a beautiful association, Mataji. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Once again, I welcome you all for this mid-morning session. I would like to start by sharing a quote by Srila Prabhupada ji. We are trapped souls in a state of forgetfulness of Krishna. And Krishna is giving you the chance now to re-establish your relationship with him by this chanting process. So take full advantage of it and be happy. Letter to Parla Alanda, February 14, 1969. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Haridas Varya Prabhuji. Prabhuji will be enlightening us on the topic of the sacred vow of Margasish, session 10. Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. Haridas Varya Prabhuji, thank you for giving your valuable time and association this morning. Waiting eagerly to hear from you. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Gauranga ki jai. Please take over the call, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So I welcome each and everyone back to this series, which is called as a Sacred Vow of Margasish. So in this series, we are going through in detail the beautiful Katyayani Vrata, which was followed by the gopis in Vrindavan. And in the same footsteps of those great devotees, Nanda Vraja Kumarikaha, the young gopis of Vrindavan, who are aged between 5 to 7 years of old, we are seeing a very beautiful pastime unfurl in front of our eyes through Mother Andal in the southern part of India, and how she is waking up all the gopis of her village, Srivilliputtur, which has now transformed itself into Vrindavan. So, over the last many sessions, we have been traversing through this pastime, which is unfurling in front of our eyes. And we are in between the slokas. We are at sloka number 8 out of the treatise, which is called as Tiruppavai. It's a 30-verse collection of 30 verses. We are in verse number 8, and today we will continue from there. Before we start, we would like to welcome all the devotees and thank them for joining in this session. And before we start, we would like to pay our humble obeisances unto all the acharyas, unto everyone who have been kind enough to give us so many commentaries, which has enabled us to learn so many inner meanings out of these shlokas. So let us start with the help of Mangalacharan, and let us continue into today's shloka. Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vande Ham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvaya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna, my dear devotees. Welcome once again to this detailed session on the sacred vow of Margashisha. We are in session number 10. Out of the 30 verses, we are looking at verse number 8. We had a break of 1 week last week. So it's very pertinent that we go through the quick recap of where we left off. And it's very easy that the winter has set in. The winter has arrived. It's called as Margashisha. And once the winter has come, the elders have given the permission for the vow because Krishna has artificially created a scenario as if it's a drought. And to get sufficient rains, Krishna only places this idea through Garga Muni that a vow has to be performed. So the elders request the Nanda Vraja Kumarika, the young girls of Vrindavan, to do this particular vrata. And the vrata is to take early morning bath in the cold river of Yamuna. For that, all the 5 lakh gopis are ready to take this bath, but they need a security guard. Krishna is chosen as a security guard, to which the gopis are very elated. And now they have called for an action. So one day before the vrata, Andal, she is the leader amongst the gopis. She calls for all the gopis and tells them the do's and the don'ts and the purpose of the vrata, whom it is for, what is the purpose, when it is to be done, it is intended at whom, what is the hidden intent, what is the external intent. All this she explains. She explains also the do's and the don'ts. She also explains what one will receive as the result, how those results are to be desired, and finally she talks about the various limbs of devotional service. They agree that the next day onwards they will begin this vrata. They will wake up early morning, they will assemble at the assembly point, and they will proceed towards the river Yamuna to take the cold bath. But what happens next? Starting verse number 6, they identify that some gopis are missing in action. Who are those gopis? Specifically, there are 10 gopis who are missing in action, who are the leaders of the 5 lakh gopis. So the 4,99,990 gopis say to Andal that let us go ahead. It is statistically, it is such a small number. It does not mean that we should wait for the other 10. But Andal instructs us that whenever we go for a yatra, we should ensure that there is nobody who is left behind. Every single person has come towards Krishna, and it is a responsibility that we have to go together and come back together. So Andal insists that we have to wake up these gopis and we have to also bring them along with us. So starting verse number 6, they go to each house and they try to wake up these gopis who are sleeping. But actually they are not sleeping. They are constantly in a meditative state thinking about Krishna, enjoying with Krishna, because the night has just passed and they would like to constantly remember about Krishna. So they are sleeping for the rest of the world, but they are fully awake inside their heart, thinking about Krishna always and finding out avenues to meet Krishna. So it becomes more difficult for the 4,99,990 gopis to wake up these special ones who are sleeping inside. So that is why we see that in every single house, Andal narrates one verse. And through that verse, she is goading or she is requesting the gopi who is sleeping within the house to wake up. And in this way, we have seen that how Andal has woken up the first girl who was the newcomer, the second girl who was termed as the mad girl, the completely ecstatic girl. Today she is standing at the house of Gopi number 3, and we will see who she is. And in this way, they will wake up all the gopis and request them to go to take bath in Yamuna. So we are today standing at the doorstep of Gopi number 3, and she is called as the favorite one. The first one was the newcomer. She was relatively new to the group of the gopis. The second one was the mad girl who was ecstatic in love with Krishna. The third one is Krishna Priya, one who is very fond one who is very favorite to Krishna, Krishna's favorite. She's one of the favorite gopis of Krishna. So she is sleeping. She is constantly thinking. So what will happen next? Will she get up? Will she join Andal's troop? That is what the session that we are going to see today. It is session number 10. A quick recap. We see these verses across 6 different dimensions. First, we set up the context of what is going on, just like how I spoke right now, gave a recap of what's going on, what's the context of this verse. Then we see the verse for today and we see the translation. We see the Acharya's commentary on those translation, which is where we churn the verse further. And then we see its connections with Srimad Bhagavatam, because Andal uses references from scriptures and Srimad Bhagavatam, because that is what she has heard from her father, Periyalvar, that she has always heard Vishnu Puran, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, etc. And keeping them as reference, she gives reference in her verses. And her verses are completely laden with all the Shastras. And then we will see the 5th dimension, which is the inspiration from the Gaudiya literatures, where we can see the similar context that Andal spoke and where we can find them in the Gaudiya literatures. And finally, we will speak about pictorially how our artist Keshav has depicted today's verse. So with that, let's go to the first dimension. Let's get right in. And this is the dimension of the context setting. And as I mentioned, 4,99,990 gopis were present for the first gopi to wake up. She has already woken up. So we have one gopi who has already woken up. Then they went to the second house, who was the mad girl. She also successfully woke up and joined their troop. So now out of 10, we have 2 who has joined the group, but we still have 8 more gopis who are sleeping in their houses. So what we have to do next is we have to see how the third gopi is being woken up today. That is verse number 8. So we have 4,99,990 plus 1 plus 1. So 992. 4,99,992 gopis are awake. Today we are going to go to the third gopi. Let's first see who is this gopi. This gopi who is sleeping inside, her name is Krishna Priya. Her name is Krishna Priya because she is very favorite of Krishna. Of course, Krishna is everybody's favorite, but Krishna has some favorite gopis. And hence, in one of those gopis, this gopi is very much known in their circles as one whom Krishna loves very much. Krishna is very fond of her. In fact, seeing her, Krishna becomes enthused. Krishna becomes more energized. Krishna becomes more enthusiastic to do his playful pastimes. So the gopis are very much aware of Krishna's likes and dislikes. And they absolutely love this girl and they want her along with them to seek the blessings of Krishna. But what is the reason that Krishna really likes this girl? Krishna likes this gopi because she is very advanced. She has been there in the circuit of devotees for a long, long time. She has been in Krishna consciousness for a very long time. And she knows Krishna's hidden intents. So in this way, she amongst all the gopis, she is known amongst them as one of the very advanced devotees. And it is a common practice between devotees that whenever there is a presence of advanced, realized devotees, we would like to take their blessings. We would like to be around them. We would like to hear from them. We would like to serve them. and we would like to ask questions to them, and we would like to hear from them. And with their realizations, it will further strengthen our faith. So the gopis are not ready to leave her behind. Though one of them suggested, let's go. The dawn is breaking. The day has already started. The sun has risen in the east. Why don't we start our day? Why don't we go take bath? Randall said, no, she's a very advanced devotee and she's a leader. So we would like to have her presence. So, in this way, on the third house, they are standing, they are knocking the door, and Andal is saying this verse. What is the verse? கீழ்வானம் வெள்ளென்று எருமை சிறுவீடு மெய்வான் பரதனங்கான் மிகுலப் பிள்ளைகளும் போவான் போகினின்றாய் போகாமல் காத்துனாய் குக்குவன் வந்து நின்றோம் கோடுக்களமுடைய பாவாய் எழுந்திராய் பாடிப்பறை கொண்டு மாவாய் பிளந்தனாய் மல்லரை மாட்டிய தேவாதி தேவனை சென்று நாம் சேவித்தால் ஆ வா என்றென்று ரைந்தேலோர் எம்பாவாய். A very beautiful verse in Tamil. Of course, we will see word by word. Many devotees who do not speak Tamil, it is very important to note that all the languages that are there are all glorifying Krishna. In fact, if we travel far and wide in India, and if we travel to every single place, you will see that there are many songs, verses, singers who sing Krishna's praises in their own language, and every one of them is very sweet. So one should not be very proud of one or two languages. One should try to learn many languages so that we can glorify Krishna. Krishna is the master of all languages. He is Daksha. He is expert in all languages. He is not the one who just knows the languages. He is expert. He knows the grammar. He knows the usage. He knows the pun. He knows the multiple meanings. He is the expert of all languages. So by knowing different languages, we can only appreciate how Krishna can be glorified. So this is a very beautiful language called as Tamil. And this is very old Tamil in the 8th century. And by learning this and learning its meanings, we can also appreciate the same Lord who is glorified in various different languages. And as we go today, there is a surprise that where this is mentioned about languages in the scriptures, we will speak about that as well. But without further ado, this was the first dimension, that all the gopis are standing outside the door of the gopi who is the favorite one of Krishna. She is known as Krishna Priya. Let's now go to verse and translation. We just read the verse, but let's look at the translation for those who do not speak the language Tamil. Let's go one by one. The first verse says, Keelvanam Vellendru Erumai Siruveedu. Please remember, my dear devotees, Andal was standing at the doorstep, and all the girls, that is the first two girls, always asked one single question. Does anybody know what is the question that they asked? When she said, wake up, what is the question that they asked? Anybody knows? Anybody remembers? They can unmute and say.
Is it means they asked, is it morning? Last class
Very
we
correct.
saw like that. And what is the reason?
Correct. They always ask this question. You are waking me up right now. Is it really morning? Has the day, has the dawn broke? Or has the sun risen in the east? Is it really the morning? This is the question that was asked to Andal. And the last two verses, she has been giving a lot of indications. She has been saying that the birds have awakened. They are already tweeting up in the sky. Don't you see the Bharadwaja birds? Just like Bharadwaj Muni has woken up, they are also tweeting along. Don't you see that the sun has risen? All these things they have said. And the answer that she has received from inside the cottage or inside the home, the gopi who is sleeping, she says, I don't believe so. I think you are all mimicry artists. You are making sounds of your own. So I don't think, give me more proofs, give me more evidences that the day has already begun, and give me more evidences so that I can wake up. Now, an expert person like Andal, she goes from strength to strength. She has to learn from the mistakes of the past. Of course, she doesn't do any mistakes, but she should learn on the job, like how we say. You should improvise and you should not commit the same mistake again. That is a first class devotee. And here we can see Andal is doing the same. She doesn't want to start by saying, okay, wake up, the morning is here, my dear girl. And then she will ask, what is the evidence? She doesn't want to go into this entire conversation again because she knows she has already repeated this twice. And two girls have already woken up and joined her troop. Now, for the third one, she directly goes with the evidence. And she says, Keelvanam Vellendru Yarumai Siruveedu. She says, the day is breaking on the east. She doesn't say other indications. She is not saying the birds are chirping. She is not saying the other things. She is directly saying the day is breaking on the east. That means the sun is rising from the east. The day is about to begin. She directly says the day is about to begin. She is not going to give any other reason. And what does she say? She then gives another simile. The buffaloes have been released for their feed and they are freely making their way to a small meadow. I do not know how many of you have seen in villages. It's very difficult nowadays. Devotees see how it is, first of all, difficult to see freely moving cattle in and around our neighborhood. Very few of us are there in villages. But still today, if you go to the villages and if you go in early morning, you will see that the cattle will be grazing and they will be finding small patches of meadow and they will be grazing there. Especially if you have seen, if you have been very observant in the villages, or the next time you go to a village, please pause and watch which type of cattle will do the grazing first. And you will find that it is always the buffaloes. The cows may not come out early in the morning to graze, but the buffaloes will always come out first and they will find small patches of grass, and they will start eating on those grass. Why? They have to set their bowels into motion. They have this morning small breakfast first so that they get their bowels into motion. And after that, when the lunch comes, they will have a greater grazing time. So this is called as the small meadow grazing, which is called as Erumai Siruveedu. Siruveedu means small meadow. They won't go into the larger pasture lands and start grazing on the fresh grass. They will eat small grass here and there, which is the grass shoots which are growing here and there, so that they start the day and their digestive juices are flowing. So this is not known to everybody. This is only known to the cowherd girls and the cowherd boys. And hence, Andal here has completely transformed herself into a gopi. And she is speaking almost like a Brajwasi. She is saying, I know my cows, I know my buffaloes, I know my sheep, I know all the cattle which is around me, and they have already started and they have been released for their feed and they're making their way to the small meadow because the day has already started. The sun has risen. The buffalo knows that the sun has come out. It is time for going into the pasture land, finding a small meadow and eating the small grass shoots which are available. Okay, this is the scenario that she gives as an evidence that the day has started. The sun has risen. Then immediately she says, don't worry about the buffaloes. Let me tell you what is happening to the 4,99,992 girls, the two girls who have joined us. All the other girls were going towards the ritual. What is the ritual? Taking bath in Yamuna. They were all going towards the ritual as though their whole purpose lies in reaching there. That means she's saying everybody was joyful. Everybody is ecstatic. Everybody is enjoying this journey of getting together, talking to each other, teasing each other, and telling that now we are going to go and take a bath. This is such a joyful journey. I do not know whether the ritual is joyful or not. The journey itself is very beautiful. The journey to reach Yamuna's shore is so beautiful. And Meivan Paradanagan Mikkulla Pillaigalum. She says all the other girls have already started on this journey. And this journey is a purpose. It's the means and the end as well. But what happened? We have stopped them. Povan Pogindrai Pogamal Kattanai. She says, everyone has come to a standstill. They were on their joyful journey towards that Yamuna river, but we have stopped them. Why have you stopped them? What is the reason? They were so joyful in their journey. Why would you stop them from going to their destination? You are not there with us because we have come to invite you, and hence we are at your courtyard. Because we saw that we are 4,99,992, but yours was the third house and you are still sleeping there. How can we leave you behind? So we have stopped and we have taken an about turn. We are standing at your courtyard and we are here to invite you. Why? Why are you inviting me? Because you are the person who is having a very deep affection towards Krishna and you have a very intense longing with Krishna. So we want to tell you, please wake up and join us. What will I do if I join you? We will all sing. We will all do Nam Sankirtan. We will all sing the glories of Krishna. What glories of Krishna will you sing? Says the girl. And they say, we will sing the attributes and we will sing about Krishna's special pastimes. And we will ask Krishna for Parai. Parai is the musical instrument which they want to do Nam Sankirtan. They are saying that, oh girl, you wake up because we have to ask Krishna for this musical instrument to do Nam Sankirtan. Of course, what is this hidden meaning of this word parai? Whether they are really asking for a musical instrument, that we will get to know in the 29th verse. So that is the climax. The whole Tirupave is around this word called as parai. Parai means the means, or right now they are meaning that give me the drum for this musical instrument. But are they intending the same or are they meaning something else? We will get to know when we reach verse number 29. But we are now in verse number 8. It's a long way to go. But right now, Andal is saying, please get up. By you getting up along with us, we can ask Krishna. Because you are very favorite of Krishna. And you are Krishna Priya. Looking at you, Krishna will give this musical instrument to you. So let us adore that Krishna. Let us sing glories about that Krishna. So please wake up. Pavai, Elindirai, please wake up. I would like you to wake up and join us and ask to Krishna this beautiful musical instrument. The girl says, what about Krishna can you tell me? And they say that Krishna has already killed the Keshi demon, which we saw in the previous verse as well. And he has split his mouth into two. He has completely destroyed Keshi and thereby he has protected us. Because when we go to Keshi Ghat, and if Keshi is there, we will not be able to do our task. But right now, that boy has put his entire arm into the mouth of Keshi and he has split open the mouth of Keshi. It is like a hot iron rod and Keshi has fallen down dead. And in this way, he has protected us. Now in his heart, only we will be occupying his space. And by the way, talking about hearts, he has also killed Chanura and Mushtika. And he is the one who has won over the hearts of the Mathura women. All the Mathura women are awestruck by the beauty of Krishna and Balaram, who killed Chanura and Mushtika. What to speak about Mathura women? Devadi Devanai Chandranam Sevittal, even the demigods, even all the lords, and he is the God of all gods, and he is the supreme personality of Godhead, the absolute truth, and he is the God of all celestials. When we go to him and we worship him, he will feel upset that we have taken the trouble of going to him. Why? Because Krishna always feels that he should reach out to his devotees. When the devotees reach out to him, Krishna feels, oh no, I should have already ensured that devotees, their wishes are fulfilled. So he will feel bad. So then what will he do? He will tell, come, come, come. Come to me. Since you have come to me, I'm so happy that you have come to me. And he will grant us whatever we want. We want that musical instrument to do Nam Sankirtan. He will give us that musical instrument. We want him as our husband. He will entirely ensure that he will sanction our grants and our desires. So let us go to him. Let us pray to that Lord. Let us pray to Krishna. Let us go to him and remember his attributes. Let us go to that supreme personality of Godhead who has killed Keshi, who has killed Chanura, Mushtika. He will be very, very merciful unto us. And looking at us, reaching out to him, he will hasten his steps and he will come to us. So this is what is the verse in its translation it is speaking about. A very, very beautiful, articulated verse, starting with the sun has risen. The buffaloes have found their small meadow, and all the girls are moving towards the ritual, but they have come to a complete stop because we are missing you. Why don't you stand up? When did you wake up and you come along with us? And while you come along with us, pray to Krishna that he gives us the musical drum to do Nam Sankirtan. All the girls were enjoying the journey, which was much more wonderful than the destination of reaching Yamuna shore. Take part in this journey and glorify the attributes of Krishna, who has killed Keshi, who has killed Chanura and Mushtika along with Balaram. And if we worship him, he will grant us our boon, which is to achieve him as our husband. So this is the verse and its translation, which is at verse number 8. My dear devotees, the most beautiful is the Acharya's commentary, who give us the different insights into each one of those lines and tell us how the conversation is going on at the doorstep. Let's first see the first one. She says, Keelvanam Vellandru Yerumai Siruveedu Meivan Parandanagan Mikkulla Pillaigalum. She learns from the previous two gopis and she says, my dear gopi who is sleeping inside, the daybreak has begun. The sun has risen. And the buffalo, which you see, has already trying to find out small pastures of land. And it has started grazing that grass shoots of land, grass shoots which are available in that small meadow. Looking at both of this, please understand that the sun has risen, the day has started, wake up. The girl who is sleeping inside is responding to Andal. She is saying, I don't think so. And she is surprised. Now, this is the third time she is getting a refusal or a rebuttal to her argument that the sun has risen. What does she say? She says that I think the sun has not risen. How are you saying the sun has risen? She says, Keelvanam Vellandru. Look towards the east. The east has become completely bright. If it has become bright, that means the nations has gone away. The darkness has disappeared. And light, that means sunlight, is very visible, which is an indication that the morning has arrived. And the girl inside says, absolutely no. All of you are intensely waiting for the morning or Brahma Muhurta and the sun to rise. Why? because when the sun rises, you will be able to see Krishna very nicely. And the sun rays will fall on his lotus face, and you'll be able to see Krishna's beautiful form. I know all you gopis are eagerly waiting for the sun, and you're constantly checking towards the east. Has the sun risen? Has the sun risen? Has the sun come out? Has the sun come out? In this way. Just like when I recently went to Kumbh Mela, and all the devotees, they were flying over Prayagraj. All the entire flight was eager to see where is Triveni Sangam. And they were always looking down towards earth as the plane was moving. They were eager to see where is Triveni Sangam. We would like to see, oh, that's where we have to take bath. So all, whether they are sitting in the aisle, whether they are sitting in the middle seat, or they are sitting on the other side of the aircraft, they were all looking from the windows on the right hand side. They were looking to find out where is Triveni Sangam. So if you are very eager to find out something, you will be always looking into that direction. So she was saying, it seems that all of you are very eager for the sun to rise up from the east. So you all are looking towards the east. And because you are all looking towards the east, all of you have very radiant faces. And these radiant faces of yours are reflecting on the clouds. And that is why it is looking bright, not that the sun has come up. She is very poetic in her answer. And she says, all you gopis are supremely effulgent and radiant. You can actually see that how advanced is this devotee. The gopi who is there inside wants to take the opportunity to glorify other devotees. This is a sign of advancement. Advancement means not self-glorification. Advancement means finding ways to really glorify other devotees. Acknowledging their presence, acknowledging their service, acknowledging their eagerness, acknowledging their enthusiasm, and glorifying that is real devotional service. Glorifying other devotees who are amongst us is the easiest way we can please Krishna. Because Krishna is constantly seeing how can he serve such advanced devotees. And if in our life, for even 1 second, we please a very pure soul, an unalloyed devotional service, somebody who's performing unalloyed devotional service and who is a pure devotee of the Lord, if we manage to please him or her, a Vaishnava or a Vaishnavi, in his or her service to Krishna and Srila Prabhupada, then our life is successful. So the girl who is sleeping inside, seemingly sleeping inside, is saying that it seems that all of you are looking towards the east. That is why the sun, it seems as if the sun has risen in the east. It is bright because of that. Andal says, no, but I can see this buffalo. It is moving towards the small meadow to eat those small shoots of grass. Yerumai Siruvid, you might be saying this very poetically, but I can literally see the buffalo. Why don't you see the buffalo? She says, when all of you are looking towards the east, all your tresses and your braids are looking towards the west. So when the sunlight comes, the darkness goes away, and the color of darkness is black. So it seems as if when the darkness is going away from the sun, the night is getting dissipated and the morning is arising in the east. It seems as if it is a buffalo which is going for a small meadow. Actually, there is no buffalo. Then Andal says, how come she's saying? And she's saying also that seems like all of you are looking towards the east and all your hair, which is jet black in color, are looking towards the west. So maybe some of you has mistaken that all your tresses and your braids are like a buffalo which is moving towards the west in search of a small meadow. But actually there is no morning which has woken up. Andal says, this is too much. This is not the real reason why we are here. But why don't you look? If you think that there is no buffalo and the sun has not risen and you're not ready, Look at all the girls who are at your courtyard. All the 4,99,992 gopis were on their way towards Yamuna, but they have completely stopped. So this girl from within says, why did they stop? What is the reason? They could have just continued their journey onwards. Why did they stop? Because they got to know that you are not there, Krishna Priya. Oh, the favorite one of Krishna, you are not there. What if I'm not there? They could have still gone ahead. He said, even if we go and stand before Krishna, his eyes will be roving and looking for you. And he will be seeing, where is Krishna Priya? And if he does not find Krishna Priya, how will he look at us? Tava bhrittasya 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 iti ram smaram lokanatha. We are the devotees of the devotees of the devotee. And you are a very favorite advanced devotee. So we all stopped. And we all stopped. When did we stop? When we were enjoying our journey. We really were enjoying our journey going towards Yamuna, but we stopped. Then she says, can you give me an example? And then Andal gives very beautiful examples of how the journey is in itself more wonderful than the destination. If we have read the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, the Gopakumar's journey to Golok Vrindavan itself is Brihad Bhagavatamrita. And that journey is so beautiful that, of course, he see that how Gopakumar goes from one place to another, goes to the Vaikunta planets, goes through Viraja rivers, and this entire journey of reaching Golok Vrindavan itself is beautiful. In fact, one of the Sri Vaishnava Acharya, he mentions that the journey of the soul after leaving the body and when it is going to Vaikunta, that entire journey is very beautiful, is very enjoyable. And it is a great journey of the soul. Every single loka, when he goes, all the demigods come outside, they pay their obeisances and they say, please give me your association for some time. We would also like to be benefited because you are going back home, back to Godhead. Why don't you stay here and let us give you all the different kinds of worship because you are going back home, back to Godhead, and you are a very favorite soul of Krishna. And all the demigods, they sing great praises to the soul who is moving towards Krishna. And they also worship him by showering flowers. Then the devotee, he takes bath in the Viraja river, and when he enters Vaikunta, it is not that Jay and Vijaya will be there to welcome. It is actually Lord Narayan. He runs from his place and he comes outside to welcome him. This is said by one of the Alvars, that the Lord himself comes outside to welcome. And in fact, he says, he introduces himself and he says, where have you been? He makes you sit right next to him and he allows you to see Mother Lakshmi, and all the others do see him. And then they execute wonderful devotional service. But we see the formality in Vaikunta and Gopakumar saying, I would like to go to Golok Vrindavan. And what to speak about Golok Vrindavan, where Krishna is so, so personal with us. So this journey itself to go to Golok Vrindavan is beautiful. So Andal is saying, forget about the ritual of taking bath. We were all enjoying just being together and going to Yamuna. She says, this is very, very philosophical. Give me a practical example. And for the practical example, Andal says, I will give you the example of Akrura. In the Dwapara Yuga, his journey was very beautiful. He was constantly meditating. His horses were galloping from Mathura towards the alleys of Vrindavan. While his horses were galloping towards Vrindavan, the horses of his mind was constantly galloping towards the lotus feet of Krishna. He was thinking, how will he see Krishna? How will he talk to Krishna? How fortunate he is that today is the day when that day has come and he will be able to see Krishna. Today the sun has risen. The bhakti sun has risen in his life. The darkness of Kamsa has gone away. He was like a buffalo looking for small pieces of grass. Today, he is going to be given abundant grazing grounds of the lotus face of Krishna. So, in this way, Akrura is constantly thinking. The girl says, Dwapar Yuga is also long gone. I am in Kali Yuga. Give me a Kali Yuga example of how journey is more beautiful. She says, Vrindavan. Go to Vrindavan and see the devotees as they do the parikrama. Or go to Tirupati. When the devotees climb the steps of Tirupati, they always do Nam Sankirtan. They say Govinda, Govinda. Or when the devotees are doing parikrama around Giri Govardhan, they are constantly singing and dancing. Of course, reaching back at Radha Kund and Kusum Sarovar is beautiful, but the journey itself of Govardhan Parikrama is so wonderful. The journey of Vrindavan or Tirth Yatra is so wonderful. The journey to any Tirth Yatra is so great that the journey itself is wonderful. Or if we want to give a material example of how journey is wonderful, whenever we think about our college days, how many of us think about the graduation day when we got the certificate? If you speak to anyone about their college days, they will talk about their hostel days. They will talk about the days they bunked the college. They will talk about the days when they failed in an examination, strived. Very hardly people will speak about that day when they got the certificate of graduation. Though that is also the destination, which is very wonderful, but people will generally speak about the journey, how they have gone through their college life. Because that life is more cherishable than attaining the result. So, in this way, she was saying, we were all enjoying our journey, but we stopped. And she said, oh, you all had left, so I don't need to come. No, we came back for you. Because Krishna will be looking for you. Because you are the fortunate one. You are the favorite one. The journey is beautiful than the destination, but the journey is not that beautiful when you are not there along with us. The journey is wonderful, but it will become ecstatic if you join us. So please join us. Then she says, why you stopped? Why you came and stood next to me? She says, just like Vibhishan. Vibhishan also came from Lanka and he stood right in the middle of the air. He did not land himself down. In fact, Valmiki could have said, Vibhishana reached the northern shore and stood there. He did not use these words. In Sanskrit, he used the words, Vibhishana moved towards the northern shore and he was still standing in the air. He used this word, still standing in the air. Why does he use this? Because Vibhishana was just interested to see the Lord from the top, how he is moving around, how he is sitting in the tent, what are his beautiful arrangements, how wonderful are these devotees. He was just happy looking at these devotees. So the journey was itself beautiful for Vibhishana. And in this way, they were saying that the journey is beautiful and it will become more wonderful if you join. Then she says, what am I supposed to do if I join you? Says, we will go and ask Krishna. But first you wake up very slowly. Don't wake up in a quick fashion. Wake up slowly, gently, because we would like to observe how great advanced devotees wake up and think about Krishna. You are a role model for us, O Gopi, who is sitting. Krishna Priya, you are a very role model for us. Wake up, Pavai Elindirai, Padi Paraigonda, sing the glories of Krishna. And this Parai, this drum, Krishna will give because you are the favorite one. So come, wake up and be a part of us. Come along with us to do this great ritual. She says, what about Krishna do you know? And we have already learnt about this, that Krishna has already killed Keshi. And Keshi starts for ego. He stands for the egoistic nature, ahankar. And this ahankar is within each and every one of us. He has already killed that ahankar. This ego has been killed. And now, when this ego is completely killed, we can keep Krishna in our hearts. But we have two more problems. We have anger and we have desires. Krodha and Kama. Kam, Krodh, Ahankar. These three are direct gateways to hell. So this Kam and Krodh are there for none other than Chanura and Mushtika. And he has killed them as well. Then the girl says, oh, Chanura and Mushtika. That means Krishna has already reached Mathura. And if he has reached Mathura, he will never look back at Vrindavan women. Forget about it. I better sleep. Because now, if he is going, you spoke about Chanura and Mushtika, now you have crossed Vrindavan's boundary, you know. And Mathura's women, they are very attracted by Krishna and his great valor of how Krishna and Balaram killed Chanura and Mushtika. What is the chances that we will attain him? Till now, I was interested when you mentioned about Keshi. But the minute you mentioned Chanura and Mushtika, now I feel that he will not come back to me. And Andal says, no, you don't know about Krishna. Whether it is Mathura women or Vrindavan women or Dwarka women, whatever, he is still infatuated with us. He will definitely come. If you go and pray, if you approach him with a favorable attitude, he will achieve. How? Because I've been saying that the sun has risen, and when the sun rises, Krishna will come out. Because he has to graze his cattle, he has to steal butter. So sun has risen, the buffaloes have gone, we have all come here, we are waiting for you. He has already killed the Keshi demon, he has already killed the Chanura and Mushtika, and all the gods, all the celestials, they are all right now here praying to him, and he is the god of all the celestials, all the demigods, and they are all here. And they are all waiting for his association. So it says, Devadi Devanai, all the Devas, all of them are waiting for seeking Krishna's association. And that Supreme Personality of Godhead, if we go to him and we pay obeisances unto him, then he will do two things. He will say, ah, and in fact, Andal says two times, ah, ah. She says two times. What is this ah and ah? Two times. Because first, when Krishna sees all the devotees are coming to him, he will say, ah, look, so many devotees have come for Mangalarti. So many devotees have come to my temple. So many devotees are doing this beautiful ritual of Janmashtami. He becomes very happy when the devotees are themselves coming to him. And then he says, oh no, I should have come to you. Just like Vibhishana, he came to Lord Rama to do Sharanagati. But actually, Rama is thinking, when Gajendra called, I went. When Dhruva called, I went. But now Vibhishana has come to me. It was my duty to go to him. But now Vibhishana himself has crossed over and come to me. It was my duty to cross over and bring the soul from the material world to the spiritual world. Now the soul himself has crossed over Lanka and he has come to Rameshwaram. And now he is standing at my doorstep and still I am not giving him Sharanagati. This is impossible. So like this, Krishna will feel twice. This girl has come. Krishna Priya has come. I should have given her all the mercy before. And thinking like that, he will give us whatever we ask for. And you know, girl, that we are asking for none other than Krishna to become our husband. Hence, please get up and be a part of us. So in this way, when this was spoken, she says, just like the mad girl, I will also wake up, and she also joins the troop. So now we have 4,99,993 gopis who have joined the troop of Andal. Still 7 of them are sleeping. But before we go and knock the next door, which is next week, let us look at the Bhagavatam connections to these slokas. 10th canto, 44th chapter, 22 and 23, the killing of Kamsa as a chapter. We see that how Krishna's mighty blows really took the life of Chanura and how he was battling with Chanura. The translation goes, no more shaken by the demon's mighty blows. That means Chanura was striking Krishna. But how did Krishna feel it? Blows than an elephant struck by a flower garland. Those blows which were coming from Chanura and Mushtika were just like flower garlands which were hitting Krishna. And Krishna was like an elephant. And when the flower garland hits an elephant, it's like a feather touch. But what did Lord Krishna do? He grabbed Chanura by his arms, swung him around several times, and hurled him onto the ground with great force. Mallaye Martinai is what Andal says, and this is the verse which Srimad Bhagavatam means. Says, with great force he swirled him around, his clothes, hair, and garlands scattering. The wrestler fell down dead, like a huge festival column was collapsing. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, in his purport, he mentions Indra Dwaja, the great festival column on top of which the Dwaja of Indra is actually placed and it flutters. That great column, as it falls down, it creates a big noise. And just like that, a great column of a festival of a pandal falls down. Chanura fell down dead. 10:44:18, killing of Kamsa. This is where we see the other side of when this battle was going to happen, and Chanura and Mushtika were standing there. And then what was the affection of the parents of Devaki and Vasudeva? They became overwhelmed with sorrow, and they heard the woman's fearful statements. They grieved, but they did not know Krishna and Balram's ultimate strength. They thought that they were little children. So you remember I said those two words, endre. So this can be used for everybody who is there in the arena. Some of the women, they looked at Krishna and said, what a beautiful strike. Look at our lover, how he is fighting with Chanura and Mushtika. The motherly gopis, they were thinking, look at our son. Nothing should happen to him. Let there be all glories. Vasudeva and Devaki, they were also very, very overwhelmed with sorrow, and they heard women's fearful statements. So this endre, the last line that Andal uses the same as it was going around in the arena as well. So very beautifully, she intertwines this chapter of how Krishna kills Keshi demon, how Krishna kills Chanura and Mushtika. Quickly moving on to the Gaudiya inspiration. The first girl, she woke up because of Nam Sankirtan. She was a newcomer and she said, I will join your troop because you are doing Nam Sankirtan. The second girl, the mad girl, she was interested, maddened in devotional service. The mad girl, she was maddened in devotional service. She said, I want your good association. So for satsang, I will join you. The third girl is having entire mercy of Krishna. She is Krishna Priya. Krishna has been very merciful unto her, and she has been made as one of the favorites of Krishna. So where do we see this? In the Shikshashtakam, when Krishna is very merciful, Namna Makari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis, Tatrar Pita Niyamita Smarane Nakalaha, Etadrishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi. Only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Oh my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you and your holy names. So Sankirtan is there, Japa beads are there, devotees are there, but we need the mercy of the Lord. And He is supremely kind, that only by His kindness we are able to approach His holy names. But what does Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says? Durdraiva midrisham mihajani nanuragaha. But in a very humble mood, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. But we see that this gopi has been blessed out of kindness. So the third girl wakes up because of extreme kindness of the Lord towards her, and she being the favorite of the Lord. So in this way, all the three gopis have woken up, and all the three gopis are ready. Of course, we saw about this text of how Krishna has on his arms the tattoo of Keshi's bite marks, which are always enjoyable for the gopis, because when Krishna embraces the gopis from behind, they always see the bite marks of Keshi demon on the arms, or the great sapphire column like arms of Krishna. My dear devotees, there is a very, very hidden dimension, and I will just take 2 minutes to explain this. This shloka is also for Hanuman. Andal is very expert. While she knows about Krishna Leela, she sometimes also talks about Ram Leela in between, because she wants to get the blessings of the great devotees. Who is the one we are talking about? Krishna Priya. But who is Rama Priya? Who is none other than Hanuman. But Prabhuji, how is this shloka connected to Hanuman? Let us see. The first verse says, Keelvanam Vellendre. What does it say? The sun has risen. When Lord Ramchandra was walking in the forest, he was fully saddened by the thought that he is not seeing Mother Sita. But a sun rose up in the east, that is Hanuman's presence, who is none other than Vayuputra, and who is also the disciple of Surya. And he learnt all these traits from Surya. And the Ishwaku Kula is also the sun dynasty. The sun said, "Oh Vayuputra, why don't you go and pay your respects to Lord Rama?" So the sun rose up in the east, and the sadness of Sita Shloka went away, which is Erumai Siruvid. It went to the small meadows. It went away from the hearts of Lord Ramchandra. Mevan Parandanagan Mikkulla Pillaigalum. That means all, like just like all other gopis came to a complete halt, there were a lot of Vanaras which went in search for Mother Sita, but they all came to a halt at the ocean. Nobody was successful. Povan Pogindrai Pogamalal Kattanai. At that time, Lord Ramchandra called you and said, "You are very important." And he gave you the parai. He gave you the beautiful ring of Lord Ramchandra and said, "Why don't you take this and go to the other side and sing the attributes of how you have slayed Vali, how he has captured all the other, he has successfully eradicated many other Rakshasas, and he is making his way, and he has made friendship with Sugriva." Mention all of this and how that all these tasks have happened, and how all the demigods and everybody is on Lord Rama's side. And by knowing this, Sita will wake up with a lot of enthusiasm. This entire message, just like how the girl has been woken up from her deep sleep, Sita was woken up by none other than the most favorite bhakta, who is none other than Hanuman. So this shloka is in different way. If you actually see it from Ramayana's outlook, is also a shloka which is matching picture to perfect for Hanuman. That said, we will go to the final pictorial treatise. I request all devotees to raise their hands when they see the pictures, and we'll go one picture at a time. First, we will see the picture on the left. We will address all the questions for the picture on the left. Then we'll go to the picture on the right. All you have to do is try to see the picture and remember some of the commentaries that our acharyas have given for this verse. Let's look at the picture on the left. What do you see? Very simple picture. First, the picture on the left.
Chanur and Mushtika.
Chanura and Mushtika.
Chanura Mushtika.
Yeah.
Who is this?
Keshi demon.
Keshi demon.
Keshi demon. Very correct. Chanura Mushtika catching, and if you see this swing, he is swirling him down. Absolutely. Okay, let's see the picture on the right. Yes, Kirtida Sundari Mataji, your hands up.
Prabhuji, first of all, I have a question on the first picture.
Yes.
Chanur and Mushtika, both of them were not killed by Krishna.
Not killed, but here he is fighting. Maybe some point he was fighting with both as well.
Okay. No, okay.
The artist is showing as if he is fighting. Or maybe Balram swung him down and he's climbed on his back and caught his neck. We do not know. So this is not showing that he killed both of them, but here he is fighting. Yes. One on the right.
Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Buffalo, yes.
A lion also.
Lion is the Simhasan. Okay,
Yes,
fine.
okay. And the cows looking at, and the buffalo, and
Okay. Can some people see the very, take your time,
Bird.
have a look
Bird.
at it, and please raise your hand. We'll go one by one. We'll use the hand method so that everybody gets a chance.
Now,
Please raise
Can
your
I-
hand. Please raise your
Yeah.
hand. Yeah, Anita Mataji. Go ahead.
Prabhu, the dawn is rising. That is, which is backside of the girl, the Kirvanam Vellandru.
How do you say the dawn is rising?
I could see that yellow and means
Very
the
nice. The
darkness.
morning Arunodaya that you can see in the color palette. Very correct. Yes. Let's give the chance to somebody else also. Who else have raised up their hands? Yes, Parima Mataji.
Andal is looking at the Supreme Lord who is seated with I think that with Hanuman. Is that Hanuman?
No, she's seeing the Supreme Lord.
Can
And
I-
let's see, anybody else gets it?
Yeah,
Let's.
it is the devotee who has gone to
Ah,
Vaikuntha. Whom
Yes,
the
it's a
Lord
devotee.
called and kept
Exactly.
on his lap. Yeah. And
Yes.
we
And
also
he,
see a little greenish color because it's
Ah.
also a glorification of Lord Ramachandra, the entire verse.
correct. As well as we see that Devadi Devanai, that all the demigods are also worshipping him. So he is the Supreme Lord. That's why he's sitting on the throne, whereas all the other demigods. Who is the one crushed here? And what is this?
That is again Keshi demon.
Absolutely right.
Hanging. And
Kiran
the
So
Mataji.
it is.
Sorry.
Kiran Mataji.
Yeah, I see the shuk, the parrot, the shukdev as
That's
a parrot.
correct. That's correct. The
I
devotees
also
or the acharyas. Yes, okay.
I also see that the mode of ignorance and passion is under control, and the ego represented by Keshi is held by the Lord. He's like holding it.
Exactly. And this is one of the Chanura Mushtika. He has squashed them completely. So very nice. And what is she holding? Here. She's holding a blanket. She has just woken up. She is just holding a blanket and she has just woken up, and they're saying that yes, the blanket is colored black. It's like ignorance is gone. She has woken up. Okay, very nice. And let's look at the next picture. Please put your hand up. The left picture first. The right one, we have seen it before. So we'll quickly look at the left one. Yes, Anita Pataji.
Prabhu, towards the left, this black color is Krishna, and he, as it is said by Andal, that this third girl is Krishna Priya, who is very dear to Krishna. So that's why she is running towards Krishna, and Krishna is eagerly waiting for her.
Very good. One at a time. Yes. Thank you, Mataji. Very correct.
You were saying, right? Seeing her. So I just.
Yeah. Parima Mataji or Preeti Mataji?
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
I was also going to say that running towards.
But there are so much more.
I was also thinking that the girl is telling that he has already gone to Mathura. What is the use? And Andal is holding the kingly umbrella. But then she also says no. But then the Lord is always ready to receive you. So what if he has gone to Mathura? So I don't know.
Yeah. He is Devadi Devanai, that he is the king. This supreme parasol, it also indicates that he is the supreme personality of Godhead. All this parasol is given during the Pattabhishek and many others, that he is crowned as the supreme personality of Godhead. So this umbrella shows his supremacy amongst everybody else. Yes, Kiran Mataji.
I was going to say the same thing, Prabhuji, but I'm also thinking that, when the gopis or Krishna Priya is going and Krishna is thinking, oh, I should have gone to her, so she's coming. So he says, and then, welcomes her.
Very nice. Yeah, both of them are running towards each other. That's very nice. Yes, Anita Mataji.
Prabhu, I could see the cow. It's like the white one and one black, which is, I think it's the rock. No, I think that's a blanket. So it says
Yes.
that the darkness has gone and it's lighting now. So maybe that's indication
Yeah,
of it's been morning.
and it's very important that, in fact, Keshav uses his palette very carefully. So this is kept as white. The Sattva Guna is here. So he's mentioning that the Kirvanam Melindra, it has become bright out in the east. Of course, the one on the right, we all know it's a simple pastime of, yes, Parima Mataji, go ahead.
Prabhuji, we can also say that the cow-like senses are running towards Krishna as it is daytime and it is the mood of goodness. You can interpret it that way.
Yes, we can interpret it like that. We can also say that we have seen that the cow has none other than the acharyas. And the cow, they wake up when it is early morning. And they are not interested to go and graze in the meadows, but they are interested to move towards Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Right side, it's a simple picture. We have seen it in the past, so I will skip it. It is Keshi demon. Yes, we have seen it before, but it's for this. Quickly, the one on the left. Very interesting. I really do not know why he has feathers. I need to ask Keshav. I do not know. Yes, Parima Mataji.
It looks like Mother Yashoda carrying baby Krishna, right?
Looks like that, but she's more favorite to Krishna. He has depicted Krishna Priya as one who is very favorite to Krishna.
And she is holding the hand of Andal.
Yes.
And kind of taking her towards Krishna.
Towards Yamuna. They are walking towards Yamuna.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, Anita Mataji.
Prabhu, I could relate that this one, the one which is flying, the cow which is flying. So in Ramayana that you were saying about Vibhishan was in the air, seeing what is happening around the law. So that I could relate. And one more thing is there is a snake behind. So
those are squirrels, if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, those are Lord Rama's pastime. I really do not know on the wings and why the padukas are kept on the wings and why it is attached to Mother Cow. I'm not aware. We need to ask the artist. One on the right. So many things happening here.
Yeah, again smashing Mustika and Chanura, and
yes.
Then again he's got he's like Vishnu the most favorite one. She's going towards Krishna along with Andal.
Yeah, exactly. And then both of them conversing, whether in the east, and they are all seeing the pastimes, like they're mentioning about the pastimes of Keshi, they're mentioning about the pastimes of Chanura and Mustika, the white cow and the buffalo, and all these pastimes. The last picture for the day, last two pictures. More pictures. So many pictures he has drawn for verse number 8. Again, you can see the same Chanura Mustika. Krishna Priya, she's having one hand on her shoulder. That means she's his favorite. And here is cow.
Krishna, she's dreaming about Krishna, and Krishna is running towards her.
And what's happened?
And Andal is trying to wake her up.
And what is she doing? The most important.
Pare?
Yeah, she's holding the drum because. And what are the devotees doing behind?
Nam Sankirtan.
Nam Sankirtan. Very beautiful.
And is that Hanuman, the orange color monkey kind of thing?
No, that is Chanura, who's been swung down.
Okay.
And then the buffalo is grazing in the small meadow. And we see the same here. There is darkness, but there is sun which is rising up. And this sun, as it rises up in the east, Krishna is going to come out of his house and start milking the cows. And she's still sleeping, and Andal is waking her up. So in this way, we see through the pastimes, through the pictures, we see the beautiful verse number 8. And with this, she also joins the troop of Andal. We still have more gopis to wake up, but that we'll keep it for the next week. Yadatra skalitam kinchit vidbham satpurayantu tat yadatrat saushribam kinchit tadguru revamenahi. Whatever errors are there in the service, may the learned Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis on the call correct them. And whatever good is found here belongs to my spiritual master and to Srila Prabhupada and all the acharyas. None of them belong to me. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. If there are any questions, comments, clarifications, feedbacks, we can discuss the same. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. Haridas Varya Prabhuji. Thank you for a very beautiful class. Excellent session, Prabhuji. Very, very grateful to you. Dear devotees, if you have any questions or realizations, please go ahead. Preeti Vilasni Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, sorry, I don't know, this thought came to my mind, so I just thought I'll get it clarified. When you were talking about the two, the younger gopis and the older gopis are during the fight with Mushtika Charnora, the older gopis are like, he has, unfortunately, out of affection, they were thinking that he is being troubled, or so much pain he's undergoing, while the younger gopis were like, he's fighting so well. But isn't that not appropriate for the younger gopis, simply because the younger gopis in general, they have this Madhura Ras, which is not really that doesn't really go well with this concept of Veera Ras. So I was just curious how
So
the young
when I said the elderly gopis, I meant the mothers.
Yeah, but the younger,
yeah,
the mothers I understand, but the younger gopis, won't they even have that, why would they encourage the Veera Rasa is my question, because they were in love with Krishna, meaning that kind of love, the love of that Madhura Rasa is kind of different than the relationship the cowherd boys probably have with Krishna. So that is what was running in my mind. Just the thought that came by and wanted to clarify.
The women of Mathura, they were also attracted towards the valor of Krishna. There are times when the gopis are very, they love Krishna, the way he fights the enemies and the way he vanquishes the enemies. It's not the fighting rasa that they love, it's the protection rasa that they love. That how their lover protects those who have taken shelter unto him, or those who love him. So that they adore. Just like how even Mother Sita, when Lord Ramchandra killed Khara and Dushana, she was seeing the blood oozing out of Lord Ramchandra's body. But she immediately came and embraced him for his valor. And she said, I'm very sorry that I called you as a woman in the garb of a male's body, but I'm so happy the way you fought. So there is also appreciation not of the Virya Rasa, but of the very factual thing of how he protects his devotees. And that is also kind of resonated by the people in the arena. So that is what I was mentioning, that some devotees, while the mother Devaki and Vasudev, they were hearing others and they were feeling pain, and they were thinking that they are young children, nothing should happen to them, with full vatsalya as a bhav. The other women, they were applauding his protection. At the same time, we can say Kamsa was feeling the pains of his blows. So this, especially Srila Prabhupada's Krishna book, explains how different people saw Krishna entering the arena. That itself is so beautiful. Different people saw Krishna differently. And that can be somehow compared with those two letters, ah. And it can be in various different rasas.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. Any other question? Okay.
Hare Krishna devotees, if there are no more realizations, I would like to thank His Grace, Haridas Varya Prabhuji. Thank you for your valuable time and association this morning and for a very beautiful class. Looking forward to your association next Friday, Prabhuji. Do I have your permission to close the call, Prabhuji?
I think Praladananda Prabhu has
Yes,
raised his hand.
Praladananda Prabhuji, please go ahead.
Prabhuji, just last moment, I realized, this katha of Andal, which I've never heard before. You started doing this. And I've been really enjoying this parallels which we find in these pictures at the end and all that. Because, these kind of realizations are kind of not, you will not find in Bhagavatam or anywhere like that. So I was just recalling this Narad Muni saying that na yad vachas chatra padam hare yasho. That in fifth na yad vachas chitra padam harvar yaso pragunit karhi chij. Tad vayasam tirthamurhanti manasa. Na yatra hansa niramti. So, this whole episode which you are taking us to a different level, which I still feel that, it is actually taking us to very deep kind of realization on individual levels as the gopis are experiencing in Krishna Katha in a very different context, like Ramayana and Bhagavatam and all that coming up into life. Like I have never heard about this buffalo, although I grew up, in village and where see the buffalo going in the morning. But that this kind of realizations are so kind of very enlightening and taking us to Krishna Katha. So that's what I feel like that. So thank you very much, Prabhuji. This is really nice. I enjoyed it. Haribol.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for your encouraging words. And that's the beauty of Andal, that she is speaking like a Brajvasi. She's saying, I know the cows, I know the cattle, I know where they graze, I know how they go, I know Vrindavan in the back of my palm. She's actually transformed the village and she has become a gopi while she's narrating these verses. She is not transformed, she has become. And Srivalli has become Vrindavan. And in that way, she is mentioning these 30 verses. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for your realization.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Pralanand Prabhu, for your beautiful realization. Hare Krishna devotees, if you have any questions or realizations. If not, I would like to pay my obeisances to His Grace, Haridas Varya Prabhuji and all the assembled devotees. Do I have your permission to close the call, Prabhu?
Yes, ma'am.
वाक्याकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुएव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः समस्त दर्शवृंद की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय हिज ग्रेस हरिदास वर्य प्रभु जी की जय
Krishna Prabhu.